What is up, everybody? You know who it is. It's your boy, Pigskin Pete. Happy Thursday to everybody. I hope everybody's having an amazing and fantastic Thursday. For some ungodly reason, I decided to shoot this video outside. It's like 95 degrees and 1,000% humidity. By the time I get done shooting this video, even if it only takes me 5 or 10 minutes, I'm going to be soaking wet. I have to go take a shower. But anyway, I just wanted to come on here and rehash some of the things I said at the beginning of my live show last night. Because, well, the stream got taken down, which I knew it was going to. Because, well, I had 28 copyright claims for music because we played a game called Name That Tune, where I played, a few seconds of the song and the contestants had to guess which song it was. Anyway, the stream got taken down, and so a lot of you didn't get to see it. And so I want you to hear what I said at the beginning of the show. Now, I'm not going to rant and rave like I did on the night show, because ranting and raving is more of a nighttime thing for your boy. But I do want to just rehash what I said for the people who didn't see it. I was talking about, there's flies out here. I was talking about the recruiting class that Clemson's putting together in 2023, the upcoming class. And you'd be like, well, why is that important? Pete, you don't even follow recruiting. Well, I follow it this year in particular. First of all, that is right. I don't typically follow recruiting very closely. In my estimation, it's a big waste of time because people can decommit, or, if you invest all of your time following a player that you think is coming to your school and then they go somewhere else, then it's all for nothing. And I just don't have time to do it. I mean, that's just all there is to it. I don't have the mental capacity to do it either. But this year in particular is a pivotal year for the Clemson Tigers and their program. Brent Venables leaving and going to Oklahoma. Tony Elliott leaving and going to UVA. And the quote-unquote bad season of 10 wins last year that Clemson had, which was their 11th in a row, by the way, had people doubting the future of the program. And of course, I really have never understood the doubt of Dabo Sweeney. And I understand that a lot of the people that say that are just, fans of other teams and they're just, being haters, which I get it, fine. But I really have never understood the narrative about Dabo's only good because of his coordinators. And, this is Dabo's program. It always has been. And Dabo is the reason that the program is the way it is, not Brent Venables. And look, I love Brent V, Coach V. And I love Tony Elliott, too. I mean, those guys did great things while they were at Clemson. Nothing but respect for them. But Dabo is Clemson, not Brent Venables and not Tony Elliott. I don't care who you put at coordinator. First of all, I trust who Dabo will put at coordinator. Now, I had some reservations when they were doing the hunt for new coordinators about who he's going to pick for the offensive coordinator. I didn't really have much of a problem with the Wes Goodwin hire to begin with because he has a track record of being a great coach from some of the biggest names in football. I mean, he worked for Bruce Arians. He knows football. He was the second hand man to Brent Venables for several years. So he knows the Clemson program inside out. He knows the defense that Brent Venables was running and the way that he ran it inside out. And he even said, I'm not going to change much. You're going to see the same defense you saw, except maybe a little tweak here or there. And that tweak is being a little bit more aggressive, which shocked me because Clemson already had one of the most aggressive defenses in the nation. But that's music to my ears. I like aggressive defenses. Go big or go home. But anyway, with the offensive coordinator hire, I was a little bit on the fence about it at first with Streeter. I thought that they could have gone out of house and got a big name, a guy who's accomplished, a guy who's respected. But I'm not the coach. I'm not Dabo. So what do I know? I'm just some jerk off on YouTube, right? So I trust the hire. But the narrative ever since this last season and then the coordinator situation was that Clemson's falling apart. Dabo Sweeney's out of touch with the NIL and the transfer portal and the way that college football is changing, he's out of touch and he's going to get left behind. And the first thing that's going to suffer as they get left behind is, of course, recruiting. So that's why I've had my ear and my eyes paying very, very close attention to this offseason. I want to see how they recruit. I want to see what the attitude of the recruits is. I want to see what the attitude of the program and the coaches is. And of course, this is a fan-driven channel. I want to see the attitude of the fans and the response to it. But I know it's only June, but as we sit here on June 23rd, the last 3 weeks of June have been the most successful recruiting month, and the month's not even over. We might probably get more before the month's over. But it's already been the most successful recruiting month in the history of Dabo Swinney's head coaching tenure, period. And it's not just, they're not just loading up on a bunch of scrubs either. I mean, they're putting together an elite class right now. Still a long way to go, like I said. Very worst situation, they'll finish in the top 10, which is better than the average, even for Swinney. I believe they'll finish in the top 5. So my point is, this is exactly what I been trying to tell you guys, not all of you, but some of you, for the past few months that are doubting Clemson. They're not going anywhere anytime soon. And I know that, my opinion on this holds a grain of salt with other fan bases because I'm a Tater man. And so, of course, you're going to be biased, Pete. But I don't think I am being biased. I actually think I'm a pretty reasonable fan compared to a lot of others. But anyone who thinks that Clemson is just going to fall off and go away anytime in the near future is just delusional. They're lying to themselves or they're lying to you. They're lying to somebody because there's nothing to indicate that. Now, we have to see what happens on the field. Just getting great recruits is, that doesn't mean much. I mean, it begins there. It starts there. But we've seen a lot of other big-time programs, namely Texas A&M, a few others who recruited at a high level year in, year out and fall flat on their face. So if that's what you think is going to happen, that might be the most reasonable thing to think. The only difference between those schools and Clemson is that Clemson has been sustaining success for a long period of time now. Not 5 years, like everybody likes to say, not 6 years, not 7 years, not 8 years, not 9 years, not 10 years. At least 10 years, but probably more. Clemson has been one of the top programs in the country. So you have to give them the benefit of the doubt, and you certainly have to give Dabo Swinney the benefit of the doubt in that. A 10-win season does not constitute falling off. If you think it does, then you're probably the same type of person that thinks you're only relevant if you win a national championship that year, right? So out of 130 FBS teams, only one team is relevant every year. That's the mentality of a lot of people. The same ones that say Clemson's only been good since 2015 or 2016 because they played in and won a national championship within those 2 years. I don't think that way. I think that's ridiculous. I think that there's 20 to 25 relevant teams every year, at the very least 10 or 15. So Clemson's not falling out of relevancy anytime soon, to the dismay of many of you. I'm sorry. You might want to go ahead and go to Costco or just maybe go to Amazon. If you don't even have to leave your house. Go to Amazon, order a giant industrial-sized bushel or pallet of tissue paper because you're going to be crying a lot over the next couple years. Outside of Dabo Swinney quitting football, outside of Dabo Swinney up and leaving and going to Alabama like Alabama fans think he's going to, you're going to have to deal with the Tigers for a while. I'm sorry. I don't make the rules. All right? Don't shoot the messenger. Anyway, I just want to let you guys know that your boy, Pigskin Pete, Chicken out.